to the Lizzy Lizzy show. I am so happy you're here. Now, it is Friday night, so I'm going crazy. That's right. I am drinking like you wouldn't believe. This is my 4th cup of coffee. And it's okay because it's Friday night. I can stay up late. Haha. This coffee is gonna give me ideas that I didn't think I could ever have. You see that? It's real. You see the steam? Can you see it? Oh boy, look at this. This cup, I'll always remember when I got it because it's a Christmas cup that I got for myself. Now before we start, I'm gonna take a nice sip of this coffee. Look, because we're together. We're together in this moment. I hope you have a nice cup of coffee. Tea, if you drink tea, okay. I'm not gonna judge you, but I like coffee. Now, I bet you're wondering, Lizzy, what kind of coffee are you drinking? Well, because you asked, I'm gonna show you. Now, I'm not sponsored. You don't need to be sponsored. People, get this coffee, okay, put it in your cart, and then they will send you 15% off. Everyone who's sponsored gets 10% off. You get the coffee, put it in your cart like you're gonna buy it, and then they send you an email and they send you more than the person who even sponsors it. So there you go. You don't need to be sponsored. But this is some good coffee. Actually, I found out about it because of that one guy, Russell Brand, I think. He used to be married to Katy Perry. Anyway, here's the coffee. Can you see it? Let's see. Can you see it? $17.75. It's organic. Nobody was harmed in making this coffee. I don't know. So it's, you know what? And here's what I put it with. Put it with some of this, some of this, and some of this. And now I am fueled and I am ready to talk to you. Because today's conversation, it came to me. It came to me while I was working out. And I said to myself, actually, it was a mixture of things. It was reading this book, and it's called The Coming Wave. And The Coming Wave is, of course, about the containment of artificial intelligence. So my mind is always mixed between artificial intelligence and people. People and intelligence, artificial intelligence, and how it will merge. The topic of this video is based on humans or people as a whole. Now, if I were to ask you, and we were hanging out, having a cup of coffee, right? And I asked you, are you a people person? What would you say? Are you a people person or are you not? I would guess if you're watching this, you're a people person, because I'm really silly and goofy, and usually people who like silly, goofy people, I don't know, I'm making this up, this is just from my head, like people, because they're I don't know. Maybe you're not a people person, and you like me because maybe I bring out something different within you. I don't know how you feel about people. But the question is, and it's a good question that I ask, to, break the ice and talk about something different than, the same old. Are you a people person? Now, a lot of times, 50-50, people are not people persons. They don't like people. So I ask you, why do people not like people? But before you answer the question, why you think people don't like people, or why you don't like people, this is where I'm thinking about artificial intelligence. If our own kind, we don't like each other, what hope do we have with this artificial general intelligence that's gonna know everything about us, right? So, I'm gonna answer you first, because I know you're curious if I am a people person. Yes, I am a people person. I like people. I like being around people. I don't like all people. No. I would say 99.9% of the time, I catch people's energy and vibe. I'm gonna give you an example. Today, I was at the laundromat, and there was this girl there with her little baby, and basically all I did something no big deal. She had her baby, and I put all her clothes that were in the wash that had to go in the dryer. I said, oh, no worries, let me do that for you. So I took all her clothes, right, and put them in the big dryer, right? I put it in the basket, you know, 2 loads, and then she could hold her baby. Her baby's 10 months old, right? Now this girl, I'm going somewhere with this, quiet, sweet, not like super outgoing like me, not like, oh my God, thank you so much, not giving me that reaction. Because sometimes with people, there's a reaction we expect to get from others, and if we don't get it, we're disappointed, which is kind of a flaw for us, because not everyone will give you the reaction, but it doesn't mean that they don't feel grateful or appreciative to you. Now let's roll back to this girl. Her name was like Cola. It was short for something else, but her name was Cola. Anyway, so this girl Cola, very like, you know, no big reaction. I just did it for her, no big deal, so she could hold the baby. Now let's fast forward. Now my clothes are in the dryer. No, actually at this point I'm taking my clothes and putting them in the dryer. She comes to me and she goes, takes a $10 bill out of her wallet and goes, oh, I want to give this to you. I'm like, no. You don't give, that wasn't worth, first of all, that wasn't worth $10. But I was really, like, to me, I'm blown away by, like, that meant so much. Like, her essence, her spirit was so sweet. She's like, to her, what I did was such a big deal. And I'm not telling you to like brag, like, ooh, I took someone's clothes out of the wet and put it in the dryer. I'm saying like, you do, the only way to affect the world is to affect the person right next to you. Now me, fortunately, I get to go out to do laundry, so I have that opportunity to, you know, help people. I'm in that like environment. But the point is that you just have to do something nice for someone else. And like when she took that $10 bill out, I was really, it's gonna stay with me forever. That was so sweet. Of course, I'm not gonna take her $10, but man, that was like $1 million like value to me, right? Because it's appreciation. And what people need, besides the paycheck that we have to exist, right? Because nothing comes free. It's just a never-ending, you know, circle, is appreciation. Then I had a conversation with someone else. Hey, you play basketball or volleyball? No, but then we had a deep conversation about spirit, and you know, I asked him when he wanted to go to the past or the future, and he said the past, and we can correct things, and we're growing spiritually, and yada, yada, yada. The moral of the story is, I really like people because I know that there's something in them, and I know they want to talk, and I know they want to express themselves. Everyone has a story to tell. Everybody. Like, not everybody is evil. It's just they look sad, perhaps, so we're judging them that they're not friendly or they're not good because they've been through some stuff. You know, they're struggling, they're tired, they feel like nobody cares. They feel like it's just them. And in the present world, we're all kind of stuck in our boxes. You know, the box of the car, the box of the home, the box of the job, even the gym, it's a box. Like, everything is, we don't have a community because we have this and this can be nice, but we're still shut off from feeling as if people care, even though they do. I mean, I care. Now, going back to, are you a people person? What's your answer? Are you a people person? Do you like people? Do you like all people? No. Why? Why don't you like people? Or why do you like people? Now, I think a lot of individuals make their decision based on what they see on the screen. You can't deny it. At this point in time, most of our exposure to human beings is what we see on the screen, right? We have many screens, all right? Ladies and gentlemen, we have a widescreen TV for our television, we have a laptop or a computer, and then we have our phone. And there's just so much constantly feeding our mind, feeding it. And if most of it is negative that we're seeing from humanity, like wars, present wars, past wars, past wars, how people are bad to each other personally, individually, robbing, all it's doing is stacking up that people are bad, people are bad, people are bad, people are bad. People, I'm not a people person. Or if you've made this decision based on experiences you've had, that's different. It's different if you're saying you're not a people person or you don't like humans because you've been around enough humans where unfortunately you've had trauma, you've been around dysfunction, and it's hard for you to recover. That's different. Now let's say you've had a good life, you had a good family, you have a good environment, you've never been traumatized, but you're still not a people person, then I'm gonna say the reason is because of what you're seeing on the internet. Now, this is two divisions of people. People who've experienced trauma and now have to come out of it and now become an exception to the rule and still see that there's good people outside of their foundation of experiencing nothing but trauma and hardship, because there is good people. I know that in my life, if I don't watch anything negative, people have been good. How many times have I got a flat tire? Actually, this one time, someone cut me off, I got a flat tire and my car spun out. I'm not lying to you. It spun out and it ended up in what parking lot? Just guess. I give you $20 if you guess what parking lot it ended up in. A funeral home parking lot. Whoa, crazy, right? So I didn't actually end up in the funeral home, but I ended up in the parking lot. I was freaking out because, you know, I missed this accident. The car spun out and ended up in the, you know, the place where most people lay to rest, funeral home parking lot. And two people stopped. One, I think, worked on cars, changed my tire. I'm sorry, it's not that I don't know how to change a tire. I have like an old car and it was hard to get off the knobs. And I was freaking out, and I'll be honest with you. I need a man to come along and change my tire, okay? I do. So I'm freaking out and I'm crying and, you know, and that was very nice. Did these people need to help me? No. People are still gonna help you. I have way more. I mean, just think about the people who sacrifice their lives, like their job is to help you. Like, you can't tell me that of all the bad people, it goes like this. It's like the good people are making up for what the bad people do, right? It's like for all the bad in the world, you still have, it's like this constant tug of war between good people and bad people. But my whole thinking, this is my thinking, this is what I believe. It's not that people are bad, it's that there can be evil within governments that trickle down to the people, and then they fight with guns and war and bombs, and then there's different levels of evil. I'm gonna start from the extreme, like war, right? Then you have, so that's the worst. People have a belief, then people go to war with other people and hurt each other based on a belief. And the thing that makes it the worst is the weaponry. Because now it's not like you're just face to face fighting with whatever skill you have in your body to defend yourself. It's not like people are doing jujitsu or Muay Thai to fight. No, they're using bombs, they're using autonomous weapons. Now let's come back to personal life. I'm not gonna get into the details, but any trauma that you have at home, right? It feels like you're stuck, you can't get out. So how do you heal? How does the cycle stop? Where people can realize that, yeah, there'll always be a little bit of craziness in life, but let's stop at a level of dysfunction where people are hurting each other, right? And I'm not just talking like the closest people to you at home, but in general in life. The only way to do this is I can't travel overseas and do anything. I can only do it in my own home. I can only do it in my backyard. I can only do it at the laundromat. I can only do it at a coffee shop and, you know, pay for someone behind you. I can only do it where maybe, you know, I'm at a grocery store and I feel like putting $20 towards someone's bill and that makes them happy and it's the ripple effect. I'm not trying to sound cheesy or corny here. I have times where I might meet someone and they might completely change the way I feel about humanity, but it doesn't happen enough. I work in the medical field. What do? I do ultrasound of the heart. So 9.999 times out of 10, everybody is so nice. Everybody is always thanking me, inpatients and outpatients. You know? I mean, yes, I treat them like gold and I have fun with them and I try to make good small talk. Sometimes every now and then you have someone that you really have to cater to, but I'm good. I'm good at catering, you know? But after maybe 8 or 9 patients, you know, you kind of are drained and you have to build yourself up. So I also think there's an equation there for human beings. Like, for doctors, the reason why they don't seem compassionate, it's numbers. They're making them see patients every 15 minutes. So how can they see 30 people and not start to feel robotic after a while? Which is why I feel like we should have robots be doctors anyway, because I mean, they're only giving you 15 minutes and then people stop feeling when you overwhelm them. Everything is numbers. Give me a certain amount of numbers of people and I'll be able to engage with you, I'll be able to talk to you, I'll be able to feel what you're feeling, and then have enough for myself. Because as human beings, we do have a certain amount of energy, and you have to protect your energy and your thoughts by not being around someone who's going to tell you how bad everything is. I've met people who were in World War II and had a good disposition and belief and worldview. It's all like your worldview. I read this one book by Joseph Campbell. He actually studied all the religions, and I like a lot of his quotes where he said, there's bad in the world, there's always been bad in the world and war in the world, it'll always be that way, but you have to do what's best for right at home, your neighbor, the people you're around all the time, the people, it's really funny, when you go on a job interview and people are like, oh, I treat everyone like family. But what's funny is usually a lot of times we go home and we're yelling and screaming at family, and a lot of times the big thing is we're yelling, why, you don't really do that at work. You're not really yelling and screaming, so it's kind of the opposite, but anyway. No, so you have to remember to leave enough for yourself, for the people, your mother, your father, your siblings, your friends, even if you have only one friend. Honestly, I think if you have one good friend, that's a lot to kind of intertwine with your full-time job and your relationship. And if you have kids, forget it. Those are your friends. Because how could you, there's not enough time. Unless you don't work anymore. If you're retired, then you have time for everyone. So, are you a people person? Do you like people? I love people. I really do. And you know what? I like listening to people. I like observing people. And I absolutely love, now in my job, especially when I get the outpatients, gosh, I meet so many people, and the way they are and the way they think of life is so different. Like, everybody really is different. Like, the way they see the world is different. Their opinion of life is different. I've met many truck drivers. I've met doctors. I've met the truck drivers especially. They're usually really good. I haven't met any female truck drivers. They're good, hardworking men, and they always discuss how, they sacrifice their body to do their job. And to me, I wish I had a giant hand that came out of my car and gave them a wave or a high five. Of course, people would do other things with the hand, I'm sure, that comes out of the car. Those are your bad people. You know what they would do with that hand. But me, I'm thinking, I appreciate them because they're sitting for 12 to 16 hours to bring the goods to a certain area, to all areas, right? So we can live. Now, the problem is, and I'm gonna repeat myself, is that how do you stop it? Where does it start with the bad people? And what's interesting is everything is extreme. You have extremely good and extremely bad. Now, extremely bad, how would you define that? I think we both know how we would define people who are extremely bad, extremely evil. What point does that start? Do people start off as evil, or are they okay, but it's fed by bad situations and trauma? Or perhaps they were good people, and the trauma was so bad, and then they grow up, and then they're in our world. Again, this is on that extreme about evil. And it's not their fault. It's like, there's a part of the world where they steal children and blindfold them and make them do things and desensitize them. So my whole question is, and I always have it with patients, I like to talk to people, I always say why? Why does it not stop? Why do people stop feeling? Because as humans, do not tell me we don't feel. We feel. We feel all the emotions. Tell me the good doesn't feel good. Doesn't it feel better to feel good than to feel bad? Right? Every feeling's valid. You're gonna feel bad. I feel bad. You think I feel good all the time? Please do not be, thinking that I feel good all the time. No, I know what it feels like to sit down and feel hopeless, but I come out of it, and I know I'm gonna come out of it. But I will tell you, the best thing you can do is start moving. Don't even, if you're really down emotionally, just go for a walk. That's it. Don't think about it too much, okay? And stop watching negativity, because here's the thing. There's terrible things going on in the world. We all know that. But if we literally cannot do anything about it, then just do something about it at home. You can only start from here, right? We can only plant and feed our own garden, right? Which will spread out. You just have to believe that people are good. There's more good than there is bad. But unfortunately, people are fighting for a cause that they don't understand. And that's at the top of the level, where governments persuade people to perform acts because they are brainwashed to believe that it's going to benefit their people, when we are all one people. We are one race. There's no such thing as different races. The only thing that there is different cultures within human race, different ways of doing it, different traditions, but there is no different race. Enough already. Let everyone believe what they want. That's fine. There's no reason, and that's the question I have, and that's a question a lot of people have. But then when I talk to other people, they say, no, that's the way it's been, that's the way it's always gonna be. Really? How are we so intelligent that we're making artificial intelligence to do what we do, but yet we still have the same barbaric tendencies from 10,000 years ago? Something's gotta change. Well, maybe it could change with you. If there's 10 people watching this, and the 10 of you today, when you're out and you're around other people, and these other people look kind of, blah, not that interesting, they're not giving you the reaction you want, right? We all kind of want, well, let me speak for myself, you kind of want that reaction. You don't know their personality. Everybody reacts differently. It doesn't mean that they're not grateful. Do something for them. You don't have to be rich. Do something for them that's helping them. Because you're affecting them, and they see that humans aren't so bad, I don't care. What difference does it make? Do you think I chose to be born? Do you think I chose to be born human? The height, the color, no, I'm just here. You're just here. We're here. It happened. And let's make the best of it while we are here. Because we have the power to either make things better or worse. We can't go overseas and do anything, especially if you're an American. What can we do? Most of us don't even have our passport. I don't have my passport. Most likely because, I gotta work for my money. I'm just gonna stay home, keep working, keep talking to patients and get their input, and have faith in humanity. And be optimistic and not pessimistic. I'm probably more pessimistic about artificial intelligence, not people. I think people, no matter what, will do the right thing. Yeah, I love people. And I will say this, but one more thing. I'm gonna repeat myself, and I'm gonna try to drill it into your head. You gotta, with the screens, you gotta do more things in person. You gotta just shut it off and go outside. Make groups of friends, especially if you're younger. You have to really see someone in their face, get their essence, get their vibe. Because we're not gonna survive if we don't come together as a people. We don't want an implant, you don't want a chip, you wanna be yourself. Super intelligence isn't what defines what's important. Super compassion and super love is what we're here to do. Thank you so much for coming to the Lizzy Lizzy Show. Remember, if you want this coffee, this is what fueled me for this video. Just look it up. You'll get 15% off if you leave it in your cart. Remember, we're not all that bad. Hey, you guys are fantastic. I'll see you next time. Bye. Coffee, 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 coffee. Get yourself some coffee.